need to find a dentist in a hurry.
YTV's Christmas line only 448 199.
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And with me are four fantastic comics from across Scotland. On my right, we have Jay Lafferty and Stuart McPherson, and up against them are Crystal Evans and Mark Jennings. In the news this week, Wales's First Minister Mark Drakeford has announced that he's quitting after 5 years in the job. He admitted it would be very hard to say goodbye, but then it is hard to say anything in Welsh. A ring worth €750,000, which went missing at the Ritz Hotel in Paris, was discovered in a vacuum cleaner this week. It's unclear how the mishap happened, but technically the owner is now happily engaged to a Mr. Henry Hoover. And a musical postbox in Glasgow is spreading Christmas cheer whenever someone posts a letter or a card. The postbox repertoire includes We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Deck the Halls and Jingle Bells. It's proven very popular with everyone except the wee boy trapped inside it who has to sing all the songs. Right, you've met the panel. Let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Jay and Stuart, can you tell me what this is all about?
The new climate deal at the UN's COP28 summit
to revive the government's plan
has been approved by
Rishi Sunak to send some asylum seekers
to Dubai, but transitioning away from fossil fuels, but not
Tory rebellion.
I think it might be the landmark deal agreed at COP28 to transition away from fossil fuels.
Yes, it is the news that a new deal has been agreed at the UN Climate Summit in Dubai after days of negotiations. For the first time, the deal calls on all countries to move away from fossil fuels, but not to phase them out, something many governments wanted. Do you think this is a good deal for the planet?
I mean, this agreement is so vague that it makes the promise I took when I joined Brownies look like I signed the Official Secrets Act. The conference is taking place in Dubai, which is a place that literally wouldn't exist were it not for fossil fuels. It's like holding the Tory Christmas party in a food bank.
It's all making sense now, isn't it? Stuart, what do you make of this? Do you think this is a good deal for the planet?
I mean, it seems good in theory, but, you know, we had COP26 in Glasgow, which I was all across because it was on my doorstep. It's just so crazy that how can you go from Glasgow to Dubai in 2 years? It makes no sense to me. Like, for the listeners, we're literally recording this on the only building on the street that's not a dilapidated ruins of a fallen civilization. And then in 2 years, they're in Dubai, and you're like, it's like when you see your ex-girlfriend going out with someone, and you're like, how can she like me and him? Like seeing your ex like in some guy's Audi R8 or something. Like, God, I can't believe I took her on a date to M&D's. This is crazy. This makes no sense.
Crystal, what do you make about this then? Is this a good deal for the planet?
I mean, I think the planet should be happy with what it gets at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, imagine you had to live with your parents. And imagine they were like, hey, we were wondering, could you maybe stop using the foundation of the house and the walls for firewood? Because, you know, like, we're running out of house. And we're like, okay, like, we'll take a vote on it. Okay, so the results of the vote are in, and you're right, it's really bad to do this. So we're going to try to stop doing it. You're welcome, Mom and Dad. Okay.
A strong commitment there, isn't it?
I do have mixed feelings about the climate change initiatives, because on the one hand, I feel like we're not going far enough, but on the other hand, I just got a fine through the post because I drove through the LEZ the other week, so and in some ways I actually think we've gone too far.
Stuart, what do you think? Is this the beginning of the end for fossil fuels?
I think it's the beginning is the key part. Like Jay was saying, it's just such a soft, vague. I'd like to see that language used more in society. You know, I wasn't kicked out of the nightclub. I think you'll find I was transitioned away in a just orderly and equitable manner in keeping with the latest science. I think you'll find.
Do you know that the final text of it didn't include any mention of methane emissions, which are one of the biggest causes of pollution? And a lot of the methane comes from cow farts that go into the atmosphere and cause a lot of the problems, right? But, and see if that's the case. Right? I think like I could probably give up eating beef, you know, because like I prefer chicken anyway. And like you never hear about chicken farts causing any problems, do you? The only inadvertent consequence of a chicken fart is occasionally an egg.
I was thinking, because we've had the hottest year on record for the 7th consecutive year, so I'm not sure that finally getting round to acknowledging the role of fossil fuels plays is quite the progress we need, because it reminded me a little bit about when our school started sex education in 4th year. The horse had long since bolted. I was sitting next to a father of 3, do you know? I was...
Well done, Jay and Stuart. You get 2 points for that. It was the climate deal out of COP28 in Dubai. Right, it's over to you now, Crystal and Mark. What was the other story we were after?
I believe it's about the Rwanda bill passing through Parliament.
Yeah, well done. That's the right answer. On Tuesday evening, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's flagship policy to send some asylum seekers to Rwanda cleared its first hurdle in the Commons. He saw off a Tory rebellion with none of his own MPs voting against the plan despite threats to do so, though some did abstain. The Rwanda bill is just part of the government's clampdown on all migration. They've also made amendments to the shortage occupation list, which details roles we're unable to effectively fill in this country, including care workers, engineers, and prime ministers. So what do you make of the fallout from the Rwanda vote, Mark?
Well, the Rwanda scheme seems to have had quite contradictory messages, because on the one hand they're trying to tell people they'll send them to Rwanda to stop them coming here, but on the other hand they're trying to prove how safe Rwanda is to go to. It'd be like seeing a packet of cigarettes and then it's got like a picture of a black lung, but underneath it's like, this won't do you any harm.
What do I believe?
Aye.
I love the phrase Tory rebels. Honestly, my eyes light up when I see that in a news article. Just, what do you picture? I don't know about this guy's politics, I don't want to besmirch him, but I saw a picture once of Paul Hollywood wearing motorcycle leathers. and that's what I picture whenever I hear Tory rebels.
Oh, Jay, what do you think then? Rishi Sunak, look, he survived this vote, but do you think his leadership is still under pressure?
So Rishi was at the COVID inquiry this week, and here's a list of 14 things that he couldn't remember. 1, the decision-making around free school meals. 2, who was resistant to the idea of free school meals over the holidays. 3, what his own views of the free school meals was. 4, he couldn't remember any conversations about funding for social care staff to stop them working in more than one home. 5, he couldn't remember if proposals about care staff were even given to him. 6, he couldn't remember... Listen, I'll stop there. Joe Biden has more cognitive faculty than this guy. And let's remember, Joe regularly forgets how you have to use stairs to get off an aeroplane.
On Tuesday morning, Rishi Sunak met with MPs over breakfast to help shore up support for the Rwanda bill. What would it take to sway your opinion? So he's thinking a breakfast might do it. Crystal, what does it take to sway your opinion?
Not much. I think he has the right idea. Like, I'm really susceptible to changing my opinion if someone just seems to know what they're talking about. Like, but I think they did a study where I read about this, where people are way more likely to agree with the person they're chatting with if they have like some kind of biscuits or something on the table that they like. And they say, like, court judges always make more lenient judgments, like, right after lunch, you know, because they've just been fed. So, you know, like they say, don't drive drunk, like, don't vote hangry. I think he knows that.
Mark, what does it take to sway your opinion?
Well, you know, I used to have one of those badges, right, that says, never kiss a Tory on it. And then I went on a date with this lassie who was a Tory, and turns out my morals are not as strong as I
Easily done. Absolutely brilliant. Although he won the vote, backbenchers have told Rishi Sunak he needs to do more to stand up for their views, to which he replied, look, for the last time, I'm standing up. Well done, Crystal and Mark. You get 2 points for that. It was indeed the mashup of the COP28 deal and Rishi Sunak's Rwanda bill surviving its first vote in the Commons. And at the end of that round, well done, the teams are all square. Of our news is about public opinion. So to find out what stories people are talking about, we spoke to two friends of the show, Queen of Weather Judith Ralston and writer and broadcaster Damien Barr. So Crystal and Mark, what do you think Judith is on about here?
These definitely get me in the mood. They're so familiar, and some of them I've been singing since I was a kid. There's no surprises to see because it happens every single year. I love them all. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I think she's talking about how a lot of the top 40 songs this year are old Christmas songs, right?
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, that's the right answer. It does seem that Christmas has come early in the UK charts, as almost 3/4 of songs in the top 40 are festive tunes. Wham's Last Christmas has topped the singles chart for the 4th time, followed by Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. That's in 2nd place. Well, there you go. We're hearing Judith there talking about all things Christmas. Do you love a Christmas song?
Do you know my favourite Christmas song is that one by Chris de Burgh called A Spaceman Came Travelling, and in that he imagines that the Star of Bethlehem is actually an alien spacecraft, and to me that's what Christmas is all about.
Finally, Mark Jennings finds the true meaning of Christmas. Jay, what about you? Do you love a Christmas song?
I love a Christmas sing-song. My husband, on the other hand, has asked for noise-cancelling headphones for the last 3 years in a row. He came in the other day and I was like singing away. I was doing the dishes and I love belting a tune out. So I was singing away to the radio and he said, and I quote, "What a terrible day to have ears."
And that's the true meaning of Christmas. Well, there we go. We're talking about Christmas because obviously it is the season. Crystal, are you feeling festive yet?
Yes. I think, again, you got to lean into the darkness and coldness at this time of year, you know, and it's Scotland, so we've still got 6 months left of it. You got to embrace it. I don't like how people complain about getting ready for Christmas early. Like, there's no other way to survive here, right? Like, if I don't hear the Snowman soundtrack blasting at Asda in mid-October, I am going to have a breakdown in the bread aisle.
Stuart, what about you? Are you in the mood? Are you feeling festive yet?
I am actually. I wasn't, and then I can pinpoint the exact moment that felt Christmassy. I was in Poundland the other day. Not to brag, but if you go there, and this is true, they do this amazing thing now where in the self-scanning machine, when you scan what you're buying, they've got Santa speaking to you.
What?
Goes, "Ho, ho, ho, put that wonderful gift in the basket." And I could not believe what I was hearing. And it just made me I'm buying Dettol wipes, Santa. Read the room, brother.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
honestly, it's worth going.
Mark Jennings, here's a question for you. What would your own Christmas single be called and why?
Chestnuts roasting in a new air fryer.
Honestly, mate, see if Lad Baby aren't they going to do it. Get it recorded, Jennings. That's brilliant. Right, it's your turn now. Jay and Stuart, what do you think Damien is on about here?
Why do we do this to ourselves? It's December, so we decide that in the 24 days before Christmas and in the couple of days in between before Hogmanay, we somehow have to see every single person we have ever met in our entire lives. But there's something you can do.
I think it's the sort of the joy of turning down social invites.
This is the story that new research suggests that it may be okay to say no to that invitation to the event that you do not want to attend. More than 3/4 of people in the study said they had accepted an invitation to an activity they did not want to attend because they were worried about the consequences of declining. Now, of course, having COVID is still the best way to get out of a party. Just ask Margaret Ferrier. Stuart, well done at getting the right answer. So what do you think? Are you guilty of saying yes to things you don't want to do?
Well, I'm here, haven't I? I'm kidding on. It's an honour and a pleasure. I'm joking.
Tell you what, that's a bonus point right there. Well done, sir. Jay, what about you? Are you guilty of saying yes to things you don't want to do?
I'm married to somebody who says no to everything, so then I feel like I have to compensate for that rudeness. Do you know what I mean? Like, so my husband once turned down attending an award ceremony that he was getting an award at. Do you know what I mean? He once walked out of a party because, and I quote, "there are too many people chatting to me." He turned down going to a stag do because he couldn't handle making small talk. It was his stag do.
Did we need to do a study on this? What is this study? Like, who would fund such a thing? I feel like one scientist just really wanted to know if one specific friend was mad at her for not coming to a party. Like, hi, Stacy. So I'm doing a study on if you minded that I didn't come to your New Year's Eve party, and I'm also doing a study on if you saw anyone kiss my ex-boyfriend John at that party. Also, I'm doing a study on if he seemed like he misses me.
Well, let's delve deeper into this then. Do you think it's harder to say no when it's family?
I got invited to a family get-together recently, and I didn't really want to go, but I couldn't turn it down because what were the odds that my uncle was going to have another funeral?
Such a caring man. Jay, what do you say in this one? Do you think it is harder to say no when it's family?
We do that thing at Christmas, you know, it's a really Scottish thing, turnabout. Do you know what I mean with turnabout? So, like, one year I'll go to my husband's family, like, and have Christmas dinner with my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my whole in-lawed family. And then the next year, I have a good time.
That is turnabout, isn't it? Right there. Krista, what do you say to this? Do you think it's harder to say no when it's family?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, I remember when I was a teenager, my grandpa would make me, like, help him clean the leaves out of his gutters. And then he would keep talking to me while I was doing it. And I remember one time I was doing it, and while I was doing it, he literally complained to me about how the current generation is very lazy and entitled. And I was like, Grandpa, how can you say that? Like, you're the one who didn't charge your electric wheelchair last night, and now I can't get to work. So...
Yeah, saying no to invitations is the right answer. 2 points go to Jay and Stuart. You're listening to Breaking the News from BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Jay and Stuart, you're first this time. Who is this?
This is unacceptable behaviour. This is something that shouldn't take place. And so we're naming the individuals to say we know what you're doing and it has to stop.
I think this is David Cameron.
That is right. Foreign Secretary Lord David Cameron is in the news after he threatened to withdraw Foreign Office support for Scottish ministers after Humza Yousaf met the Turkish president without UK officials present at the COP28 summit. Lord Cameron has also threatened to close Scottish offices in UK embassies. In response, Humza Yousaf branded David Cameron petty, to which Lord Cameron replied, "I know you are, but what am I?" What do you think then, Jay? Was David Cameron right to reprimand First Minister Humza Yousaf and the Scottish Government?
Now, listen, see to begin with, it was England that voted for Brexit, right? Not us. So if you don't think that Scotland's passing notes to all the other countries behind your back, then you've no idea how Scottish people operate. Right? We're in a WhatsApp group with France and Germany called What We're Going to Do About Blighty situation. We're sending Greece the opening hours and floor plans of the British Museum.
What do you think then, Mark? This has obviously been brewing for the past few days. Was David Cameron right to reprimand Humza Yousaf and the Scottish Government?
I think, to be fair to Humza Yousaf, right, maybe he just wanted to not have anyone there so he could speak to the Turkish president about going over there to get his teeth done.
It's all falling into place now, isn't it? On the back of that story, Stuart, do you think Scotland should have more autonomy on the international stage?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think that is it. Really, it's just embarrassing, isn't it? If, you want to meet with someone, but we've got to wait for your mum to come or whatever. It's fundamentally a riddy, and that is against our nature. It's not fair.
Crystal, do you think Scotland should have more autonomy on the international stage?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my kids are Scottish. They're very proud to be Scottish. Although I will say, there is one thing that's holding them back, and it's a hard thing to admit. But they sound American. And listen, I said it was hard for me to admit it. You don't need to punish me further. But it's just because they hang out with me too much. Yeah. They're obsessed with me, to be honest. They're like, oh, mommy, play with us. Mommy, wake up. It's almost lunchtime. You know what I mean?
So, Mark, what do you say to this? Should Scotland have more autonomy on the international stage?
Yeah, because at the moment we can't really affect UK foreign policy. Like, all Humza Yousaf has probably been able to say to these countries, like, look, it wouldn't be happening if it was me, but you know what they're like.
The Foreign Office criticised Mr Yousaf's actions, claiming it damages the UK's standing in the world, which would be quite some feat, given the UK's popularity currently sits somewhere between Chernobyl and that woman that put the cat in the bin. Yes, there you go. 2 points to Jane Stewart. That was, of course, Lord David Cameron. Right, it's over to you, Crystal and Mark. It's your turn. Who is this and why are they in the news?
Honestly, I was gobsmacked. I was literally stunned, lost for words for the first time in my life.
I believe this is Lee Samuel, who is a pantomime star who was proposed to at the end of his show.
Yeah, it's a lovely story. Pantomime star Lee Samuel was left stunned following a surprise on-stage proposal during opening weekend in Greenock. Lee was taking his final bow when his boyfriend Lee Johnston came on stage, popping the question in front of a cheering audience, which included family and friends. Happily, Mr Samuel said yes to the proposal after a quick round of, what do you think, boys and girls? Well, there we go. A good story. What do you think, Stuart? Is this a good proposal story?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was lovely. It went really well in the room. I saw the video and the crowd obviously loved it. And you'd be really tempted to just keep it in the show, wouldn't you? Every night, like, oh no, whoa.
Well, obviously, this is a story that's got a lot of attention. We wish them all the very best. What do you think the best way is to propose?
I think it's best to propose in the traditional way, after crumbling to an avalanche of peer pressure from your partner, friends and family.
You old romantic, you. That's nice. Crystal, what about you? What do you think the best way is to propose?
I think my husband did it best. We were living in New York and we were having just a really nice romantic walk at night. And he took my hand and he was like, Crystal, I need a visa.
Jay, what do you think then? What is the best way to propose?
I don't actually know the best way to propose. I know the worst. There was one guy proposed by arranging a fancy date night with a dinner in a posh restaurant, and in the middle of the meal, he faked an illness, bit into a concealed blood pack, collapsed onto the floor, whole bit. A nurse who was planted at the adjacent table comes over. She rolled him onto his back. She rips open his shirt to apply a defibrillator and reveals, "Will you marry me?" on his chest in blood. He sat up and pulled out the ring and said, "I can't live without you, baby." So he's dead now.
Yeah. Stuart, I don't know if you got an answer for this one. What do you think would be the best way to propose?
To be honest, I've never given it a second thought. I've thought many times about how I'd ask my best friend Ben to be my best man. To me, it's quite romantic, really. We'd go off to the cinema. It's just like a normal Tuesday. But I miss the turn, and he's on to me. He knows something's up. Taking him back to where we first met, Balweary High School, Kirkcaldy. I go down on one knee. I say, Ben, you're the best of a bad bunch. You've got public speaking experience. Stag do won't be a total disaster. Please don't make me ask Darren. And he'll say yes.
And that is how they do romance in Fife. Yes, this week, Panto star Lee Samuel was proposed to while on stage taking his final bow. Usually when someone from Yoker gets down on one leg, it's because they think someone from the Disabilities Work and Pensions is spying on them. Yes, Panto star Lee Samuel was, of course, the right answer, and 2 points go to Crystal and Mark. It's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
I'm washing my hair.
There you go. That's Good Morning Scotland's Gary Robertson with his excuses for why I didn't see him at the Radio Scotland Christmas party. Right, fingers on buzzers, teams, and here we go. 37% of people in the UK don't do what? Mark.
Anything.
Should be the right answer, actually. Let's keep it going. I love that. 37% of people in the UK don't do what? Crystal.
Optimism.
37% of people in the UK don't do what? Jay.
Open presents first. Some people don't get up on Christmas morning and straight away open their presents. Posh people wait till night.
What?
That blows my mind.
It totally blows my mind. What are posh people about?
37% of people in the UK don't do what? Stuart.
Is it work from home when they work from home?
As long as you're logged in, it's all right. Camera off. 37% of people in the UK don't do what? Mark.
Cocaine.
A brilliant answer, mate, absolutely. It's not right, though, it's something else. The answer we were looking for is that 37% of people in the UK don't do any exercise.
I'm washing my hair.
Oh, there we go, that is the klaxon. It means Gary has Robertson's. It's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Jay Lafferty and Stuart McPherson! Congratulations to Crystal Evans and Mark Jennings! And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Breaking news just in. A teenager from Kirkcaldy is living like he's in the 1940s. 19-year-old Callum Grubb drives a vintage Austin Cambridge, listens to Vera Lynn, and most retro of all, thinks we've got a really good chance of defeating Germany. Scientists from the University of Edinburgh have discovered a near unbreakable substance that could rival diamond as the toughest material on Earth. The carbon nitrates are so remarkably hard that Ross Kemp's going to do a documentary about them. And Amazon has revealed the top 3 questions that Smart Speaker was asked most often in 2023, which were, how tall is Lionel Messi, how old is Elton John, and who is Jennifer Lopez married to? They've also revealed the top 3 queries made of Michael Matheson's Alexa, which were, what time's the Celtic match, how much does mobile data cost in Morocco, and no! The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!
That's all for tonight. I hope you have an amazing festive season wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And now, just fuck off.